This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm the Baroness, and we are on with my co-host, Fuzzy McSnugglepants.
Baddest bear in the cage.
Fuzzy McSnugglepants.
That didn't get to fight in the cage.
And that's why you're no longer the baddest bear in the cage.
We'll get there again.
You're the bear that cried because his fight was canceled.
If anyone's got a cage fight that they're not going to drop out of on the week of.
He cried.
I didn't cry.
Okay, you whined profusely.
I did whine profusely. And still whining. I haven't dropped it. The saddest bear in Monterey. Thank you so much to our sound engineer.
I like that. That's perfect. Our producer got it. The saddest bear in Monterey.
Yes. Can you roll your R's?
No.
Okay. What?
Yes.
My manager speaking in the background.
Saying she can't even pronounce R, let alone roll my R's. That is very true. So we have a lot going on. First of all, I'm firing my business partner, Alexis Romero. I'm just letting everyone know my
Why?
sister's
This is news
getting
to
fired.
me.
Apparently because I can't roll my R's.
What? Is she your linguist specialist?
No, I'm just being an ass. I couldn't survive without her. I can't actually fire her.
Oh, neither of us could. I needed some things handled that she got taken care of in a week that I would have suffered to try to get through for a year.
He had to go get neurological testing to see if he had brain damage. He has sleep deprivation and ADHD.
Well, we didn't want to put that out there, but okay, fair enough. I didn't want to put that out there.
He had sleep deprivation and ADHD because at 10 o'clock at night, he's like, everyone else is awake. I don't want to be asleep. I'm going to go get a coffee. Why am I unable to work out 9 hours a day with 4 hours of sleep?
I don't drink a coffee because I want to be awake. I drink a coffee because it tastes good. All right. An evening, there's nothing wrong with an evening coffee.
Gee, why can't I sleep well? Why can't I sleep well during the night?
Right. Actually, change that. Write in the comments and tell her that I'm right. I just want to win the argument. I don't want facts.
The neurologist already told me that he's wrong.
You have a beautiful hat on today.
Thank you. This gorgeous guy bought it for me off the internet.
Yeah.
Alona Millinery.
Lona Millinery. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Lona Millinery. Not
Great
sponsored.
hats.
We paid for this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I absolutely love this hat. It's an angled pointy thing. I want to get one in blue.
I remember that conversation.
I want to get one in blue to go with my blue dress, please and thank you.
I can see it. Okay, we'll get you one for blue dress.
Well, royal blue, because Alexis and I like to share hats, so it has to be colors that we can share. So
yes, you and the producer love to share hats. Okay.
Americans don't wear a lot of hats, and I like hats.
Well, we wear a lot of ball caps, I think. We wear a lot of ball caps. Depending where you're in the country, we'll wear like cowboy hats a lot of the time. That's our thing.
Okay. If you can't see a black lady wearing it in church, it's not a hat.
Where did that reference come from?
I love the hats that the ladies wear in church here.
About?
I went to this Baptist church just because I saw these ladies with these amazing hats.
Yeah.
And I just went in trying to get the name of the milliners.
What if... Okay, I don't have one for that.
I thought it was incredible. And that you can't even make fun. Bear's working with a company called Doodleverse. Amazing company. She makes hats.
Makes pretty bitchin' beanies.
Okay.
She's a millinery. She did do professional hats.
She's done Beyonce's hats. She does millinery work. And she does all the sports gear that he likes too, I suppose.
And she has some really cool like keychain dongles coming out too. So
dongles.
They're
called the Doodles.
You can follow her on SSM Doodleverse on Instagram. Please do that. Yeah, and then tell her that Bear sent you.
Yeah. Also, he does a bunch of giveaways with her. So if you want some free stuff, follow her, hit up Bear. We've got a bunch of freebies he's giving away from her.
Absolutely.
Again,
all in due time.
Again, she didn't pay the show for us to say that. That's just what we're saying.
Yes.
Now, I will say this. We've got a lot going on in the news. We just had the Princess of Wales together at Christmas.
We just had together. What do you mean? The Princess of She's one person.
No. Every year, the Princess of Wales does a concert they film called Together at Christmas. It plays Christmas Eve.
Christmas.
Yeah, it plays Christmas Eve. It was just filmed. Then we have the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I don't want to know.
Who have a television show on Netflix talking about their time in Uganda, I believe.
Wait, they've got another TV show?
Yeah, they're doing a whole series.
And
Netflix.
It's not about them hitting on the crown? Holy shit, this is impressive.
I think they need the relation. I think they need the relationship with the crown. And from a marketing perspective, I always tell people, be aware of what you say or do. Be aware of who you criticize, because you might need them later.
Speaking of criticism, we have something going around the internet right now, and actually it's been popular. It's been done for many years.
I was going to talk about that.
I want to talk about it too. It's the angel tree shopping. And what people are having an issue with, as far as we can tell, is if you go and do it and you film it, they say that you shouldn't have to put it on the internet. You need to do it for the kindness of your own heart, not for clout.
Yeah, it's not a matter of clout. The reason the angel tree has so many people doing it this year is because of the controversy. So for those that don't know, there have been two different controversies with the angel tree. First controversy, there were a bunch of mums with angel tree complaining about what they got. What it looked like with the ones that were complaining is they signed up for a bunch of things like Xboxes. Most of the people who are buying for you cannot obviously afford to buy their own kid an Xbox. They're not going to buy your kid an Xbox. A few influencers maybe can. But, if you put realistic things on, you should be fine. Or they're complaining that they got a more generic brand than they wanted or something like that.
Right.
These are people who can barely afford their own Christmases that are buying you a Christmas. Like, I'm not saying be grateful, but I am saying when it comes to like the woman who only spent $30 on the angel tree.
Yeah.
In that case, she could have put her money in with someone else, because she couldn't reach, 30 is the minimum. I think that was made like 10 years ago when $30 was a different number. The minimum probably should be 100, because you got to get some clothes, you got to get some different things. I mean, this is pretty much what these kids are getting. Now, I'm not saying you should have to go out, but I am saying, if you really want to do an angel tree and you don't have the money, there are a bunch of influencers that did GoFundMes. There are a bunch that put their Venmo up and said, whatever you put in here, we'll spend. There's a lot of ways you can do this
where people can participate too, because maybe you can't go do an angel tree shop yourself, but you can give $10 someone who can do it on your behalf, basically, and give it to a good family. There's a lot of ways to go about it. But have we discussed the other issue we're having right now with that particular influencer? Speaking of influencers.
Yeah. So the one that did the $30. So the first thing she did was complain, and basically she didn't want to be doing the angel tree anyway, said animal charities are her thing. She's doing it because it's the one her husband, it's the one her husband picked. Then she's like, well, I have boys, I don't know how to shop for a girl. Madam, you were a girl. You know how to shop for a girl. Don't be stupid. And then as far as her complaints for $30, she went for the minimum, which is fine. But in that case, rather than taking 2 children, why not take 1 child? Why not put your money towards a group? You have everyone put in, $20 each, and you get 1 child. Nothing wrong with that. Bear, on the other hand, when he does the angel tree, he didn't even know about it until this whole TikTok controversy. And the first thing he did, he goes, all right, anyone that has anything martial arts related, I'm taking. He went through the whole tree. One ticket. One
child wants some boxing gloves because he wants to be a boxer. And honestly, he's also, for a 10-year-old kid with wants, very humble in his requests. It was not a lot. So we're going to do some real special stuff.
But I know that you are going to go over and above, which is fine. He's also looking for any other trees with sports-related questions. But in that case, do that. Take 1 child that has a similar interest to you, so you know how to shop for them. If you don't have enough money to cover it, because a lot of the things these children have on their lists are jackets, shoes. There's a reason they put shoe sizes on there. And if the card doesn't get picked, then the Salvation Army breaks up what they have and will send packets to the families so they get something.
Yeah.
But I think there's a problem in both ways. The mother's sitting there going, oh, I didn't get what I wanted. If I put a certain brand, you should have got that certain brand for my, 4-month-old. Lady, you may not like that she got the generic Walmart brand, but the woman who actually bought it spoke, and she's like, I put all of my extra money into this. I thought I was doing something good, because she saw this woman bitching on the internet.
Yeah, I put in for my wish list, I wanted my 4-month-old to have Gucci pajamas, and she didn't get it for me. What a bitch.
But she got you, the necessities.
Exact necessity. Because when you do these tickets, they have what they have like it's funny. They have reasonable requests, and there's one spot that says wish, and a lot of the complaints seem to be that their wishes weren't met, or as far as what they're missing.
Now, the flip side of that are the people that come in and do less than the bare minimum.
Yeah, like the lady who spent $30 as a minimum and then kind of bullshitted her way. She did a bunch of dollar store gifts for these people, which I get it. That's all you can do. Fine, and there's not bad stuff at dollar store, but if you can't afford it, then don't let them suffer. Put in on it with somebody else. Get a group thing going. There's a lot of options you can do instead of sounding like an asshole, sounding like she was forced to be charitable, which giving away $30. She's not a small influencer. She spent $5,000 on her own kids.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Then the flip side of that is you find these young guys, like there's one guy who had done a bunch of boys, and he's like, because I know what they want. He's like, but I'm going to try a girl. I'm going to practice being a girl dad.
That's that's the kind of thing we want to see out there. I like that.
And that's it. It's that I love doing that. Now, every year, obviously, our main charities are Free MMA. And I'd like to remind everyone, because he uses bad language, we're giving money to Free MMA, the Boys and Girls Club of America, and the Humane Society. So those are the three main charities we support.
So far, so we got money going there.
Those are the three main charities we support. We also do Toys for Tots. He's doing Angel Tree this year. We do a lot of charity throughout the year, and Bear himself runs a charity.
Yep, that's the Free MMA right there.
It can be really difficult to pull in money, to pull in volunteers, to pull in time. It is not easy to run a charity.
Well, no, which is why typically you got to have a board. You have to have a lot of people on staff to make sure everything's by the books.
Bear's money from his social media goes to running this charity. He's very, very straightforward about it. That's where his money goes. That goes on to the children's uniforms, to their equipment, that is where this goes.
Right.
Because he wants to make sure. He even ran a food pantry out of the gym.
We should start that again. We haven't done it since we changed locations.
No, absolutely start your food pantry. But that's what it is. He's had the food pantry out of there. Offers clothes to the children. He offers shoes when they don't have it. Free martial arts. He has had people who are unhoused coming in for classes and to wash up. He's always had that open door policy. That isn't cheap. That is very, very expensive. That is where he chooses to spend his money. So he doesn't do a lot of other charities. That said, with this woman where she's like, well, my preferred charities are animal charities. I give money to the Humane Society. Bear does support Boys and Girls Club. Not obviously as much as Free MMA. That's where almost all of his money goes.
Yeah.
But he'll support them with time and ask for donations, and we give them a bit of money. I very heavily support animal charities. That said, this year we're doing Angel Tree because it blew up online and we didn't know it was a thing.
And now we know.
Now we know
it's
a thing.
I want to say
that's
something
the benefit of it blowing up online.
Yes. And there's a lot of complaints, especially people post a video, the people in the comment section, hey, you shouldn't have to post this for internet clout. You should be able to just do this out of the kindness of your heart. I said that in the beginning, but the fact is, with people putting this out there, making it more popular, more well-known, it'll increase the number of people actually doing it.
Well, that's it. Mr. Beast volunteered people to do it.
And Haley, I don't care if they put in, I don't care if they make money off the videos they put out there. I care that the good message is getting out there.
But that's it. The money that they're making benefits these kids. The attention benefits these kids. More people are doing it. That is influence used for good. I'm 100% on board with that.
Absolutely.
I'm simply saying that if this woman, like us, have different charitable things we focus on, yes, obviously I support Free MMA because it's your charity, but it's not where I would put my time and money. I prefer animal charities. I work with the foster system. I do a whole different thing.
You wouldn't want to give to the self-defense of small children?
No. Oh. I work with things like CASA. I work with foster kids. I've adopted kids. I have a whole different thing that I do. That said, I do not see a problem with people doing that. I support it because you do. I think there are more important things for people to put their money and time into, and I've been proven wrong. I say I've been proven wrong because I always look at the story that you were on the news for, your student.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Bear had a student that was being bullied, came into the school. I'm not going to give out her name, came into the school for lessons.
people broke into her house. This is a couple of years after taking these courses, broke into her house with her and her mother, didn't have a mask on. And she's like, well, Coach Bear says, if you think you're going to die, put everything you got into it. These people aren't wearing masks. There have been murders in the neighborhood. There have been rapes in the neighborhood. We know this is going on. We're very lucky. We're in Palm Springs, but where Bear teaches is a very different area. And so she's saying, she knows what's going on. This isn't safe. She's like, I'm going to die. And so she, as soon as the guy looked away, pulled back and cocked and hit this guy as hard as she could, broke her hand, knocked the gunman out. The mother grabbed the gun. They called the police. They had stopped by doing this string of burglaries, this string of rapes and murders that had been going on. This little girl saved her life, her mother's life. Of course, they didn't call Bear. She texted, the mother texted Bear. My daughter knocked out a gunman. Bear's like, I need a lot more context right now.
I would also like to point out, I don't go around telling my students, if you're going to die, I definitely say something to the effect of, if you feel your life is in danger and you cannot get away, then don't do nothing.
He also tells them never go to a secondary location. If somebody like
never leave, never go with them. Give them whatever items they want. Don't go with them.
No iPhone is worth your life. Like, he's very clear on this stuff.
If they were gonna hurt you or kill you or unalive you, they would do it there. If they need to move you somewhere, they're not willing to do it where you are. Don't go with them.
Yeah. And so he's very clear on all this.
Yeah.
I always thought, I was like, I supported my partner because this is a charity he believed in. But that was the point that I was like, oh, wow, what you're doing really, really, really matters.
Thank you.
I'm a dick.
Oh.
No, seriously, because I'm like, but there are children that need this. There are children that need that. I didn't see martial arts as important. I now understand why you see it as so important. It does help with structure. It does help with discipline. It does help with self-esteem. When you started working with Father's Home, which is a foster home for sexually abused young men, I saw the confidence these boys would get. So I was very wrong. And I'm hoping this woman sees that with her, with the angel tree. I hope she sees that just because it's not the charity we would choose doesn't mean it's an unworthy charity. And just because children are receiving something doesn't mean that they're not worthy. And I hope that she learns from this. Right now, she's doubling down. I genuinely hope that she learns from this, and maybe next year takes one kid, and rather than spend $30 on each kid, spend $60 on the one child, gets them some clothes. I am happy this blew up because it is helping people know more about Angel Tree. But the parents complaining about what you're being given, I think it's both ways.
Yeah, it really does. Well, speaking of parents having lots of children and being able to beat up gunmen, I'd like to welcome to our show our wonderful guest, Smiling Sam Alvey.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me back on.
Hello.
You are never not in a moving vehicle.
I know. Every time we see you, you're going somewhere.
I have 6 kids. They're always somewhere, and I have to get them all the time.
Always moving, always going. Now, you have a lot going on. You just had a fight with Karate Combat. You have a stage play coming out. Tell us what's going on with you, and then we have about 8,000 questions.
Yeah, so I was down in Florida last week, and I fought Goliath, and Goliath won. he won pretty dominantly, which is my bad. But then tonight, I've got. So you guys saw the
hearing you.
What was that?
Oh, you're cutting out. We're having trouble hearing you. I think we're okay now.
Oh, am I? Well, that's not okay. All right, well, I'm on a freeway now. Hopefully that'll work out better. Yeah, so a week ago, I was down in Miami, and I had a fight. And the fight it didn't go according to plan. I was fighting a Goliath of a man. And yeah, size matters. So, lesson learned.
We watched.
Well,
for those that haven't seen, I will put up a picture of Sam next to Bear next to me. I am 5'8". I'm a tall woman. He is a very large man. So this man next to him must have been shockingly large.
Yeah, Robelis Despain or Despagne, however you pronounce his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
He was 6'7", 285 pounds. He was just massive. He was just a big dude. I was convinced going into it I was going to be able to overcome that size, and boy, howdy, was I wrong. It was he swatted me down like he was very little.
That's the moment you're like, okay, I'm starting to see the inconsistencies with the story of David and Goliath.
Well, Sam didn't have a slingshot.
I might have needed two of them. The dude was massive. No, it was. I was convinced. Like, I'm still convinced on a technical. I am better than him, but doesn't matter. That was just him swatting me down. He said, "Yeah, we're not gonna deal with you anymore, Sam." And that was all she wrote. First time in my life I've ever been knocked out, and it took one punch and two real big kicks to make it happen, but it happened.
It's one of those moments you're like, it shouldn't be able to happen, but with the force and weight he had behind it.
Yeah, it was just big. Like, I'd weighed in with him. I'd met him a couple times, and in my head, oh yeah, he's a big guy. Then I got in the pit with him where we're actually moving around a little bit, and I was like, oh, he's a really big guy. This guy's massive. And he absolutely was. I got in there, and I did everything was going according to plan until I got hit, and just the first shot put me on my butt, and it was like, oh, it was all downhill from there.
I do want to say, watching the match, you seem to have a good plan instigating in like the clinch fighting a little bit. Was that part of the game plan?
So the biggest part of the game plan was he was the big guy, so I was going to fight like the small guy. I wanted to move a lot, which I did. Didn't engage a whole lot in the first round, and I was trying to get him to come forwards, and he really wasn't taking it, but I was circling the outside. I wanted him to get tired. Towards the end of round one, I got the clinch. I went in and clinched. And I was expecting him to be stronger than me significantly, like be able to shrug me off. But I got in there, and I felt stronger, and I had him. Like, ooh, this is good. Now, the game plan was not to keep clinching because I thought he was going to be able to shrug me off like that. And so round two, I didn't go back to the clinch, and I wish I would have. If ever I fight him again, I'm clinching from the moment that bell rings. I am in. I'm getting tight to him. I'm going to use my physical prowess to overcome him. But like I said, the rematch will probably never happen. I didn't show enough in that fight to deserve it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens next.
Well, you're still the greatest karateka the world has ever known. Is there another fight planned for the 205 belt just yet?
They really want to push me against Uriah Hall, which I would love that fight. That would be it'd be a dream fight. I've always wanted to fight him. He's a nice guy. He is built for karate combat as well, and he's my size. So I think it would be a fun fight, and I hope that's the one that gets booked next.
Your
That'd
size
nice.
really needs to be part of the deal at this point.
Yeah. I like being a weight bully, and I usually am, and not this last one. This last one, he could bully me a little more than I was ready for.
Well, 280 pounds. What were you for that fight? Probably 230, 240?
I was about 240, yeah.
For 40 pounds extra, that's a pretty big damn difference.
Oh, it was big. At the weigh-ins the day before, I weighed in wearing jeans and a shirt, and I had stuff in my pockets. I was just trying to get myself as heavy as I could. And I was like 247. Just chugging water beforehand, just making myself as heavy as I could be, just for the scale. And I was still 30 pounds lighter than him.
But I always think that's interesting. That's the exact opposite of the normal game plan for fighters. Usually you guys are dehydrated, starving, dragging yourselves, taking off underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, everyone needs that one time where they get to eat hamburgers day of weigh-ins. Everyone needs the ones.
It was a delightful weight cutting week. I didn't have anything to lose. I had to gain weight to make it fair. And It was a good week.
I still don't think that's quite fair when you're looking at he was another human larger than you.
Yeah.
My wife keeps saying, it's like, Sam, it's like if you were fighting a 155 pounder, it's like you're fighting a 55er is the weight difference. If I was so I guess it kind of was. But it was good on him. It was a hell of a kick. It was a hell of a punch, and he didn't get as tired as I was hoping, at least not as fast as I was hoping.
Did you see any of the training footage leading up to this fight from your opponent, or did you kind of go into this with it doesn't matter what he does, I have my own game plan mentality?
No, the only thing I really saw was he was sparring Alex Pereira, I think a week or so before. And Pereira was getting the better of him. But Pereira's a big dude, too. Not quite 6'7", but I'll bet you he's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he's tall. He's a tall guy, and he's got some weight behind him. I don't think he weighs normally as heavy as you did for this match, though, like 230s or something to that degree. He's a good 205er.
Yeah, he sticks around 230, 235, somewhere in there. So he would be a small heavyweight as well.
Right, exactly. He would be.
Now, I do want to talk about, I'm not going to bring up the person because I don't want to give him any more attention, but I know there was an internet thing. We've had a lot of people ask about it. You actually followed through, brought a guy out to come fight you. He absolutely screwed up that shot. You got him a ton of press, and he didn't handle it well. What advice?
The saga of John. That was so much fun. It helped my social media so much. In the month leading up to him getting beat up by me, I'll bet you I gained close to 70,000 followers on everything. It was awesome.
For sure.
My YouTube is now at 10,000 followers.
That's awesome. It's interesting to me. One of the things I know I had said to him, I know you guys had said to him, is you lost the fight, be humble about it, be honest with your audience, and you could turn this into a career. He did not listen to either of you.
Oh, yeah, he was lying naked on the floor, puking in the toilet afterwards, and Bear was in there, consoling him, saying, "It's all right, brother." I got out of the shower and said, "Listen, just no excuses. If you say nothing but good things about me, but make one excuse, that is all anyone will care about.
Yeah.
No excuses. You just own it. Say you're going to learn from it. You will do great. You will grow dramatically because of it." And he was right then and there. Bear could say, he's like, yeah, it seemed to sink in. Like, he said, okay, I can do that. Like, he real solemnly said, yeah, I'm going to nail this. And the next damn day, he came out talking poorly about everything. And he was just lying about it. He said, just before the fight, he changed all these rules. I said, no heel hooks, which he doesn't know how to do. That was the rule I changed.
That's the rule change. I said, don't do this thing you have never done in your life. Don't worry about it.
So and honestly, you can do. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you said it as a joke at the time too, like not even a serious boundary. Because why would he have pulled out a heel hook on you?
Right. No, it was a nothing rule. It was just kind of funny. It was kind of for if he came back and sued afterwards. I said, no, I was looking out for him. I even took away the dangerous moves.
Mm-hmm. It's what's so interesting to me is had he handled this differently, he could have actually parlayed this into a career had he handled his interaction with you differently. And I know, I constantly tell our audience, and I know you and Bear both have very, very large social media followings. But when you guys win at something or lose at something, you just talked about losing a fight to a man much larger than yourself. You didn't sit here and go, it wasn't my fault because.
Right. No excuses.
That's it.
Yeah. Right. I lost the fight. He used his tools and I got beat up. My bad. I'm going to learn from it.
But that's it. Even when I know John's partner was texting Bear, and Bear was like, you can't possibly have expected him to win against Sam. That was never going to happen.
No, she did.
That was not possible.
They both equally believed in John's abilities.
It was baffling. It was baffling. And then the afterwards, you think he was pulling his punch? He was going as hard as he could, and he kicks like a sissy. That's what he said about me. Like in video after video.
If you didn't hit hard as you could, he'd have died.
You can watch the fight. I carried the fight. I thought it was a funny line for me. I said he was. What really bothered me is he went after who I had beaten already. So Tyrone Spong. I beat Tyrone Spong in like the first minute of the second round, where it took me 2 minutes of the second round to beat him. So I lasted longer than Tyrone Sponge. He always said the name wrong because I don't think he was very bright. But he kept saying that. He's like, all right, you're going to make fun of my opponents. Listen, brother. I tried to put down Spong in the first. I tried to put you down in the third. I couldn't do either.
Yeah, you tried to put Spong down in the first one. That wasn't going to happen. You did your damnedest. You got him, but it took because he's a competitor. You tried to put John down later, but John passed out first.
Yeah, man, he flopped. I got backstage after my loss last weekend. And it popped in my mind. I asked Brett when I fell over, it wasn't embarrassing, was it? He said, no, you look good.
You had us scared for a minute there when the staff had to come and help you to the bench, though. Mm-hmm. Were you with us at that point? Where you know what was going on? Just having.
No, you know what's funny? I gave a post-fight speech. I didn't know I gave a post-fight speech until my wife told me like 3 hours later. No, it's laugh about it. It was fine. My brain was on Queer Street for a minute, but I listened to it afterwards. Like, oh, hey, retarded Sam had a good moment there. I spoke well.
You did really, really well. Nobody would believe you would not have been able to pull off in court that you didn't know what was going on. You were that together.
It's great. I had no idea.
Yeah, you cannot be sued for a workman's comp.
No, it shows the experience though. You went on autopilot. You're like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. Let's just go.
It worked out. It worked out all right.
Absolutely. And now that we're I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Now that we're post-fight, it's been about a week. What has been the the fight fan reaction to this?
Social media has helped a bunch, which I wouldn't have guessed. Usually you get on media after losing and they tear into you. People liked what I said afterwards. I made 2 or 3 posts over the next 12 hours, and it was all, respect to him and my bad, I'll be back kind of stuff, throwing glory to God all the same. And people have loved everything I've said since then. They like the direction I went. Yeah. And I really wasn't expecting it. You lose a fight and the world usually turns on you, but they stayed with me this time, and I was very happy about that.
No, that's good. I think especially because you've made such an incredible turnaround, and the announcers, the commentators were talking about it too. How you've been tearing through the karate combat competition up until your fight with Robellis, and you've invigorated people. You've brought them back into like that smiling Sam Camp. He's going another tear right now.
I think it's
people have loved me. I found a home with karate combat. I'm just thrilled with them.
Yeah.
Now I do have to ask: are you going to keep your next opponent closer to 200 pounds than 300 pounds, maybe?
Oh yeah, Robellis has scared me out of heavyweight. Screw that. I am playing 55ers from here on out. They just got to come up.
It's like, I'm not doing that again.
I've always taught kids MMA, and I always say, "What's the first rule of MMA?" I don't know. It's never pick on someone bigger than you. And I forgot that lesson. I relearned it this last weekend, and we're gonna go back to the basics.
But now you know why you're teaching it.
Go back and talk to that one. So that's actually new to me. Last time we chatted personally, I didn't know you were doing youth or children's MMA.
Not so much anymore. Back in California, I ran the youth club with Team Quest.
Got it. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
You're also teaching online now through school, correct?
Yeah. I've got my school, SKOOL, and I'm got a big online course with that, and it's going very well.
Yeah, actually, they've been pushing. I think you're the reason why I see all these advertisements from school. They're like, "Hey, we want more MMA fighter. You got an MMA fighter who wants to come on school? Please put them on the program right now." So they've given out incentives. I hope they're treating you well at school for all that.
Yeah, it's going well. The problem is, MMA fighters don't have any money, so I'm going after a market of a bunch of people that don't have any money, and then I specialized in striking, and problem is people that have money don't want to get punched in the head. So I've got a very niche market I'm attracting, and it really is just the truly dedicated fighters that are jumping in. As much as I would like to work with those that are just hobbyists.
Right.
I've got a good group of guys that want to fight, that have that desire.
That's interesting. Why would you only want to work with hobbyists?
I want to say, I do think it's important for people to learn. We started the show talking about the young girl, in your case, that saved hers and her mother's life.
Yeah.
It is important to learn how to defend yourself.
Oh, it absolutely is. What do they say? It's better to know it and not need it than need it and not know it. It's just it is. You've got to find a way to be able to protect yourself.
No, absolutely. And I know we've been going on a lot about the fight stuff. That is what you do. You had a massive fight. But I also found out recently, we all did, that you're going to be in some kind of stage play coming up.
Yeah, this is the second one I've done. So my role, because I was away for the last month training, my role is literally one line. So what you saw online is all I say the entire play. But I got in it because my daughter loves it. My boys love it too, but my daughter really loves it, and their school doesn't have a play thing. So this time they've got pretty decent sized roles. I have a real small cameo, more or less. I'm Captain Blitzenkrieg. That's who I am. And it starts tonight. So tonight is the opening night of the performance. It'll be tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, and then next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday also.
I would encourage people, if you're a fan of Sam, go check it out. If you are local to the area, we'll put up a link.
Yeah. Is there anywhere you can see it, or where do they have to be to watch it?
No, you'd have to be there. It's a small local theater group, and it's in Smyrna, Tennessee. And it's, I believe the show starts at 7:00 tonight, tomorrow, and 3:00 on Sunday.
I think that's wonderful.
Very nice. Yeah,
that's wonderful. You're really involved in the community.
I like that you go out.
I have so much fun with it.
Now, you've got you are obviously the aside from the one little snafu, you've run through everybody at Karate Combat. You've got school. You've got what you're teaching there. What's your next step? What do you want next? Do you want to continue with fighting? Do you want to move into film? What do you want to do? What's next for Smiling Sam?
Well, I mean, everyone wants to move into film, but I'm really the John saga on social media has given me a new grasp of what I want to do on social media. It gave me a voice. I've always been just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and sees what sticks. I want to do more of that. I just have to find more videos to do it with. To be completely honest, the entire month people kept responding, "Oh, Sam, you're hilarious. You should be a comedian." Blah blah. Went to my head completely. So now I'm convinced I'm going to be a comedian. I just have to figure out how to do it. And I'm just going to use TikTok and Instagram to help me do it.
Open mics, and that's what Matt Rife did.
Oh, just crowd work.
Huge on there, yeah. Just crowd work, just open mics. That's how you get to do it.
I'm not as pretty as Matt Rife. I don't know if I can do it quite like him.
Matt Rife isn't as pretty as Matt Rife. A lot of plastic surgery.
I need his doctor's name.
You can actually see the before. He was on this show from before, like right before.
Yeah.
And you can see it's drastic. Anyone just type in Matt Rife before and after surgery. It's shocking. And I'm not knocking it. I'm full of Botox, but my God.
He's adamant.
Especially after this last fight, I could use it. I had eyes swollen shut, and I need something.
You're a lot better though.
I need bigger sunglasses. What's that?
It's a lot better though, from what we saw.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's open on its own. Although last night I got something in my eye, I slept with it, and my other eye swelled shut overnight. So I was actually at the doctor all this morning, and that cleared.
It's fantastic. So you've got one bruise shut and allergies in the other.
Yeah, right. And I'm upset. I'm one of the few gingers in the world that I don't have allergies. I was never. The sun gets me, but other than that, I'm not very ginger-like. Bear, I suspect you're not very ginger-like. You're probably pretty.
He's not.
I do get allergies. I gotta say it happens. But in general, no, gingers are invulnerable. You can't beat us.
And we are what Superman wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except when Superman goes to the sun, he gets more power, and you two
We get
burn.
cancer.
Yeah,
I've been burned in the moonlight before.
Burned in the moonlight. That should be a song. That could be, Sam, that could be your next thing, is you become a comedic musician out there in the world.
We play music.
I could be. I'm pretty nasty on the ukulele.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Hey, absolutely.
You and The Rock. Now,
Yeah.
there was a moment not too long ago where The Rock came out and he was talking to Brandon Fraser, and he said, because of you and because of your support, I was able to have the career that I do. I would have been forced to stay in the WWE if you hadn't advocated and helped me get this role in the Scorpion King. And he made Brandon Fraser cry, and The Rock was crying. It was a whole thing. Who is the person you most attribute your success to? Who is the person? Who's your Brandon Fraser?
Jackie Chan. Big fan of Jackie Chan. Oh yeah. I didn't know anything about fighting, like not a thing. It was Ninja Turtles and Jackie Chan is what I thought fighting was, and turns out it isn't. But I held the illusion because of them for quite a while.
Yeah, that's understandable. And I know when you started out kind of fighting in the back of bars, right? Like really early on.
Yeah, when I first you fight wherever there's a cage, and it was an outdoor event. My first one was the XFC, I think it was called. It was an outdoor event. The mat burned my feet. It was ridiculous. And I didn't know the rules. I went out there. I had pockets in my shorts. My gloves are wrong, and they let it happen. So all right, sounds good.
And then what has been your biggest takeaway from doing those events and the way you did? Like what did you learn that made you who you are now?
I can't say there's anything that made me who I am, but looking back, I'm jealous of what the fighters nowadays will never experience. Back then, I've had years where I fought 12, 13 times in a year. Now, amateur fighters have managers for some reason, and they turn down fights because it's the wrong time of day and the wrong. I feel that the fighters today will never know how cool it was just being able to show up somewhere and get a fight. And they'll just never experience it. They will have their fights handpicked for their entire career.
Did you just show up to these, or did you have to sign up, or was there a process to them?
I tried to remember exactly how I got the first one. I think I sent an email, or somebody sent an email to me, and I said, "Yeah, I'll be there." There's like tomorrow. And I didn't know who I was fighting until they raised his hand and said, "All right, this guy won." And then the next fight was I'll bet you the guy was 400 pounds, but not an athletic 400 pounds. He looked like he's 400 pounds. And I didn't know who I was fighting until I was in the cage with him. And that was, all right, you got to go at him or run away from him. So I went at him, and I put him down pretty quick. But yeah, I had a lot of fights where I didn't know who I was fighting. I didn't know anything about him. And the internet was a thing, but not really at the time. So you couldn't even look up information on the guys you're about to fight. Most of the time it was the Wild West. You got in there and you did what you could.
Compared to the fights that you have now, not necessarily how professional they are, but the way it's chosen and how they match you up, did you prefer doing the kind of more random fights, or do you like it now that you know your guy?
I have a good time with both of them. I always say, like, nowadays, when you know who you're going to fight 8 weeks before, it's always like Christmas. I get to unwrap the present. They say, "Hey, you're going to fight guy A." So I get to Google who guy A is. I get to Google who he's fought. I get to watch his fights. Maybe I've seen him fight before. So it's a lot of fun getting to know who I'm fighting. I just wish it was easier to fight more often now. I wish you could fight twice, 3, 4, or 5 times a month. Just if you see it, they just say yes and I say yes. I wish it was more like that.
I will say you are one of the most televised fighters in the world. Almost, every fight, you are really findable. Your fights have been very popular. It's got to be really difficult on your end because every single opponent you have can research the hell out of you.
Yeah, it wasn't the case for a lot. Like, you can't find any of my earlier fights because, again, the internet wasn't really a thing. But you can find all of them now. You can find everything I've done now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find the kick him in the dick video now.
Yeah, you can.
It pops up every 6 months. I get tagged again. It's between that and the Let Me Bang Bro, because I'm in the background of that one. Every 6 months is like clockwork. It goes around the internet and I get tagged 100 times.
That experience, I'm curious about that one. Was there any kind of lead up to that, or were they just drunk?
No, he just got drunk. He lost the fight and he got drunk. And that is what the Ultimate Fighter wants. They want the drunk frat boys. That's what they're hoping for, and they gave it to him. It's kind of a boring season outside of that night, and that night is now the most infamous moment in the Ultimate Fighter history.
I always tell people, you won the Ultimate Fighter without winning the Ultimate Fighter. You got to go on the show, you got to go with the UFC, and you got to marry America's Next Top Model, and you didn't have to drink on the show.
I won the lottery, man.
Wait, you didn't have a single drink on the show?
No, I faked it. There are a couple, like I would pour the beer out and I'd put water in it and I try and convince everyone I was drinking, because I was very tricky. I don't think I fooled the person. But
okay, so was this like part of the religious thing for you, or just you didn't like drinking at the time? You didn't want to?
No, I really don't drink. I will drink. I have drank. No, I always have to work out tomorrow. If I drink today, I can't work out tomorrow.
That makes sense. Okay. So I like that.
You have one beer and you're done.
Well, that's
and you do that once every 6 months.
You don't. I'm sure I'm the same way. You give me half a shot and I couldn't drive home.
I think it's, but I mean, I get it. Your entire career relies on your body. And that is models will understand it to a degree. Athletes will understand it to a degree. But there are very few people whose entire job is both extremely physical and extremely mental. Usually it's one or the other. In your case, you have to be the epitome of health, and you have to be, cognitively as perfect as you can be, because you have to strategize and you have to physically be up to it. It's a very strange job.
Oh yeah, you've got to be physically up to it, and you need to be a little mental. It is just you need the perfect amount of both.
Yeah, I like that explanation there. A little bit of autism never hurt any professional fighter.
That's autism.
That's not how that works. Now in this case,
I really think it is.
It's a little bit.
I don't think there's ever been a better thing to have been put to jiu-jitsu or MMA. So a little bit of tism takes you a long way.
Just a smidgen of the tism.
So guys, let's go to the corner. If you hadn't done this, what would you have done? You're clearly great in front of a crowd. You're great with the physical. What would you have wanted to do with your life if not this?
I wanted to be a stuntman. That's what as soon as high school was over, I was ready to move to California and figure out how to be a stuntman. No idea how to do it, and it's probably best I didn't try. But that was what I wanted. And my parents, they asked me not to. They made such a big deal about it. I mean, not back then. They tried everything to convince me not to do it, but they never asked me not to do it. And I knew they didn't want me to. I knew it was, and I also knew all they had to do was ask, and I would have said, okay, I won't do it. And they never asked, but they did everything else in their power to make sure I couldn't go, or chose not to go.
Considering how dangerous stuntman work can be, what was the reaction to you saying I'm a professional fighter now?
Yeah, that's worse.
I think they were more scared of California than the stunt work. I think it was I was a little hick boy from Waterford, Wisconsin, who grew up and lived in a city of about 3,500 people, throwing myself into LA with no plan of living, staying, or doing anything.
You still ended up in LA.
Yeah.
Or California.
Yes. And that was the other thing. My dad, all my life, he said, remember, the pen is lighter than the pick. He was a construction worker. The pen is lighter than the pick. So, okay, you want me to be smart. So now I lift weights for a living, and that's heavier than the pick. So I'll show you, Dad.
You got to use that brain to know how much you can carry.
I'm not sure that's what he meant.
I'm trying here.
Now, what advice would you have for the people who do not want to be the Johns of the world, for the people who want to get your attention or want to talk to their, favorite influencers, how to actually interact with them?
Just reach out for the most part. I mean, one cheer is I've got, I think, 250 or 260,000 followers on TikTok and a little more on Instagram. I still respond to everyone that talks to me. I mean, it's almost frustrating how often I'm responding to people, but I do just reach out. And there's no guarantee they'll reach back out, but you'll never know unless you try.
I like that. And a follow-up to that kind of advice, I think probably everyone gets asked this after they win or lose. What is the best way to kind of get back into the motion of things, considering that you lost the belt, probably a little bit emotional? How do you make this turnaround? How does Smiling Sam keep smiling?
I've got a 24-hour rule. I am allowed to cry and sob into the shower for 24 hours. As soon as it's 24 hours and 1 minute, I got to suck it up and start trying to get better. Then I start training to never let it happen again. But 24 hours, you're allowed to feel like whatever you want to feel like.
I like that. I like the honesty there and being able to let those emotions get out.
I think that's brilliant. That's good advice for anything. I did a whole TED talk, and my TED talk was literally, you're going to fail, learn to fail well. That is the best way I've ever heard of anyone dealing with a setback. Feel it, deal with it, go through it. All right, now carry on.
Yeah, and it's 24 hours. That is all you're allowed. And then it's a new day. After 24 hours, then you're on to a new day, and it's time to deal with it. Make sure it never happens again.
Kind of a quick follow-up to that. Has every loss or setback felt the same, or is it like varying degrees for you?
This last one, it does not feel as bad to me as every other one. Even though I lost the belt, I lost, I got knocked out. It doesn't feel as bad as all the other ones do. And I think part of it is because he was just so big. It was such an uphill battle for me. But I got the opportunity. It was a fight I wanted, and I failed at it. And now it's time to learn how to never let that happen again. But some fights they're just crippling. Like, it's just hard to get out of. It's hard to make it into 24 hours and 1 minute from then. But you just got to do it. You put it in your mind, and that is what needs to be done.
That makes sense. And you've had an incredible turnaround, won against some huge names across the board, no matter what. So I think you're the best person to hear this advice from, just experience-wise.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
What advice would you give someone? You have lived most people's goals in your life. You're a celebrity. You're an influencer. You're a cage fighter. You've done everything. What advice would you give someone that wants to move into the entertainment space?
Where God is a shield. Whatever happens is His plan. Your successes, your failures, it is all for a reason. And whatever that reason is, you don't need to know. You just need to highlight Him. Every loss, every victory, you just wear Him out there, and the world you will be rewarded for it one way or another. And don't do it for the reward, but you will be.
I like that. And what is the one thing everyone should avoid?
One thing. Have you ever had? You're Australian. What's that stuff you guys put on crackers that tastes like gasoline?
It's Vegemite, and it's delicious.
Oh God! Stay away from Vegemite. It is the most disgusting thing.
I love Vegemite. I love Vegemite. I meant that they avoid in life and stop picking on Vegemite. I'll send you a jar.
Yeah. You want a good life? Stay away from Vegemite.
I like Vegemite.
All right. Stay away from Vegemite.
We're good. To the Australians out there, mail him Vegemite.
You people, you're a prison colony, and that's the reason.
Technically, it's because people don't know how to use it properly. You're supposed to get toast, put a lot of butter, and a tiny bit of Vegemite. It's a seasoning, it's not like peanut butter. You guys put peanut butter thickly on everything. Where can everyone find you on social media, darling?
If you see my name under my picture, it's Smiling Sam. Anywhere and everywhere, and I'd love to chat with y'all.
Please go follow Smiling Sam. If you want to learn martial arts, you can learn from Sam in school. Go check out all of his social media. Follow him. He is a good person doing good things. And we constantly talk about the kind of person you want to be in life. The Sam Alveys of the world are the people you follow, not the Andrew Tates. I'm just saying.
Hey, preach, amen.
I'm really trying to push that. We've got a lot of young guys on here. They're always looking for someone to follow. Follow Sam.
Andrew Tate is such a he's a garbage man. Like, I have nothing good to say about that guy. Just a garbage piece of filth.
Agreed.
Well, there you go. That's what we should get Andrew Tate to come fight Sam. That's what we need to do.
He's not that. He may be a bad person, but he's not dumb.
But Sam's really injured after the last fight. Andrew Tate could totally win.
Oh yeah, definitely. Come on, Tate.
All right, I'm just saying I would pay to see that fight. Sam, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
For those of you out there looking at the kind of person you should be, Sam Alvey is always the right kind of person to look at. Make sure you follow his career. Definitely follow his advice. And seriously, I'm just saying, if Andrew Tate wants, to boost his numbers again, there's always a Sam Alvey he can spot.
Yeah, he can win a karate combat belt. Could.
He's not gonna.
He's not gonna, but he could.
I'm the Baroness. Thank you to our very special guest, Smilin' Sam Alvey, and my darling co-host, Snuggle McFuzzybutt.
Bear Fiorda.
We'll see you next week.
Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.